You may recall last year we reported on the Trump administration's decision to limit the number of refugees entering the United States. That number was set at 7,500, a significant cut from the Biden era. In addition, the administration is prioritizing white South Africans for admission, a group it says faces persecution at home, something the South African government disputes. Well, now an investigation from the Free Press shows many of those white South Africans, also known as Afrikaners, are barely scraping by because of what they say are failures in U.S. government systems. Madeleine Rowley is an investigative reporter for the Free Press, and she joins us now from Virginia to talk about this. And we should note the Free Press and CBS News share a parent company in Paramount Skydance. Madeleine, good morning. Talk to us about the conditions some of these refugees say they are experiencing, because the administration made it seem as if they were being prioritized. They are a special group.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me on. Yes, I spoke to 10 South African refugees who told me that, they came to the U.S. hoping for a better life, a better situation, just as other refugees. And the government contracts with 7 refugee resettlement agencies that are paid hundreds of millions of dollars per year to provide safe, sanitary, and affordable housing. And unfortunately, what I heard from these Afrikaner refugees is that they're spending weeks in motels in unsafe areas. They're being offered housing that is full of mold, apartments that are full of mold in expensive areas. So each refugee is allotted $2,000, and all of that has been going to rent. So they're really left with nothing. And these agencies are supposed to help them apply to jobs, obtain temporary benefits such as SNAP and Medicaid, and basically other people from the community, like neighbors, are having to step in because they just, in some cases, can't even get a hold of their resettlement agencies.
And Madeleine, what jumps out to me about what you're saying is we have this almost split screen between what you're describing their life is like now and how they looked in May of 2025 when they were being welcomed here. They were holding American flags. They had smiles on their faces. When you asked refugee groups about these issues with the resettlement process, what are they telling you? How common is this?
Well, from what I could tell, there is an entire network of people as they come. People I spoke to came as soon as 2 weeks ago. And what they do is, they have a network through social media groups and WhatsApp, and they're all realizing, oh no, I'm stuck in this hotel. I only have a certain amount of food. They don't have transportation. They don't have the right clothing. I talked to 3 refugees who are in Detroit. It's very cold there. They do not have coats. So they're realizing that they really feel alone. So I think with that original group, now we're sort of seeing, I think so far, over 1,600 Afrikaner refugees have come. And now we're seeing sort of the cracks in the system here when it comes to how these resettlement agencies work. They have regional offices all throughout the United States where the money from the federal government trickles down. Some of them, one refugee resettlement agency, their federal expenditures topped $727 million in fiscal year 2024. So I think we have to ask here, why are these refugees being told there's no budget for food, or there's no other apartments or places to show them that are in safe and sanitary areas?
So, Madeleine, in our last few moments, what are these resettlement groups telling you? And are other refugee groups expressing the same amount of challenges?
Well, I think that's one of the questions that my reporting for the Free Press raises. I spoke to the neighbor of one Afrikaner family who was resettled in North Carolina. And the neighbor told me, she's been helping this family. She gave them air mattresses, pillows. She spent $300 of her own money to help this family. And she told me that previously there was a family from Afghanistan, a refugee family from Afghanistan, who was living in this rental home, and they experienced the same challenges. So I think this really raises the question. The majority of Afrikaners, a lot of Afrikaners do speak English. It's not their first language, and not all of them here speak English. But I think this raises the question as to whether or not other refugees that are going through this refugee resettlement system are experiencing the same thing. And this is sort of the first time that we're hearing about it.
And we did just show a statement from the Office of Refugee Resettlement saying every effort is made to provide them with safe and sanitary housing. Madeleine, we appreciate your reporting, putting a spotlight on this, and we thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks so much for having me.